What's up, guys? And so, as you maybe know, late last night, that with the WG and AMPTP, that stands for Alliance of Motion Picture of Television Producers, met and secured a fair attendant deal after days of negotiating, and even with a sag-aftra that they had to get a contract and deal as well. And even with the strike that's sort of over, with the actors and the writers, then they can go back to work and everything. It seems to be returning to normal. And for what can that mean for the rest of the film industry, especially with the film and TV that have been put on hold, especially with the delays, especially coming from Marvel and Netflix and all these sorts of studios as well. And that's what we're going to do for you guys in this video, is a breakdown of what we can expect, especially after the strike is over, and what impact that it's going to all have on the film industry, and now that the strikes are over, even with the effect of all of it as well. And so if you're new here, then be sure to subscribe and hit the bell. There's always a video like this, and so let's get into it. As I mentioned before, that with the WG and AMPTP, I met to discuss a new deal after days of negotiating, and with that, they have secured a new 3-year deal, which is for most of the contracts in Hollywood. And now that the deal has been agreed upon and the contract has been signed, but it's supposed to be reviewed and approved upon by the WG committee, and that doesn't mean that the strike is completely over, but the strike is sort of over, and now that the writers have a new deal, and everyone can get a fair pay, and if you feel good about returning to work. Now, it's especially with sag-aftra, like when their contract is completely different. Like they had to meet up probably in like a couple weeks or so, and even with the actor and the writer strike, it can all be over, so everyone can go back and feel good about returning to work. So we can get those cameras rolling, and so that we can get the film and TV that we all love so much. And now I think what this could mean and how this all affects the film industry is it's pretty big. I think we can all expect delays, especially with the film and TV that lie behind on filming and get it out to all of us. Even for what it's convenient for the film industry, and now that the strike is over, especially between the writers, and we're still waiting on the actors as well. But even with the strike that's over, and now that everyone can return to work, and even everyone can feel happy about it, and even to secure a fair deal and fair pay. But even with the film industry, especially with Marvel, the MCU, Netflix, even all these streaming services, and with film and TV that we all love so much, I think this is going to affect a lot. Because even when the strike is over, and now that with the film and TV that like behind on filming and getting out to us, especially with all the Marvel delays, and with the Marvel Phase 5 and 6 slate, and that is possibly going to be delayed, or they can continue filming, but it's especially with Deadpool 3, and that is hoping to make its May 2024 release date, but I think that's obviously not the case, but I think it'll obviously move because they're behind on filming. But even with the rest of the film in the industry, I think we can definitely expect these products a lot sooner. And even with the rest of film and TV, it's especially for the final season of Stranger Things, Cobra Kai, and so much more. And even with the writers that can sort of return to work, but they can't until the contract is reviewed and approved. So now that everyone can go back to work and start filming again. But even with Stranger Things, I think that's one that we're got to wait for a while. It's supposed to the biggest TV show and popular TV show ever in the history of television. But even with all those shows, I think we are definitely got to wait. But even I think it's gonna be worth it, especially with these people that have been on strike since May. But even with the rest of film and TV, I think we can definitely expect so much more. But even that they can get everything back on track. Even for what this means for Marvel, the MCU, and the Phase 5 and 6 slate, is I guess we're just got to wait a little bit longer for these products, but because even though that they're behind on filming and getting out to us, especially with the Disney, Marvel, Bob Iger and Kevin Feige have said they're trying to aim for quality over quantity, and to put out less and give us pure quality Marvel content. And even though with the entire slate, I guess we're just got to expect a whole bunch of delays, even something I don't mind waiting at all, as long as we get pure quality content. And even with the products that are said to be coming out towards the end of the year, especially with Loki season 2 and the Marvels, and even with the cast of the Marvels, I can finally get a press tour. But even with the rest of the film industry, with film and TV that we all love so much, and they can get a proper marketing, and even with the actors promoting the products, and even getting a proper press tour. As for the rest of the movies that we're all looking forward to so much, and that have been impacted by the Hollywood strike, has been pushed back. And even with Doom Part 2 has been the latest, so it's for the rest of the MCU and slate. But even with Doom Part 2, like, I hope that they can move back its release date to its original release, and have Timothy Chalamet and Zendaya promote the movie, and have a proper marketing. But even with Doom Part 2, I guess we're just wait a little bit longer than that. But as for the rest of them, I guess we just have to wait a little bit longer before they come out. And even with all film and TV that have been impacted by the strike. And especially for the strike that as over, I'm glad it is, so everyone can now return to work, so we get all the film and TV that we all love so much. And even with the Hollywood strike and how much it has impacted all film and TV, and with the rest of the industry, it's especially with educating ourselves during the strike, and even with everyone on those picket lines, and like striking since May, and even for how this is going to affect everything in Hollywood. I think everything is going to change for the better, and I think everything is definitely going to change now. Even though with the Hollywood studios and their revenues, it's especially with paying the actors and the writers fairly. But I think we can definitely expect a lot to change, and even with the actors and the writers that can continue to work on all film and TV. But I think we can definitely expect a lot of change. And yeah, so with my final thoughts on this, is I'm glad that the Hollywood strike is over, but it's between the WGA with the writers, and even with SAG-AFTRA, I had to get a contract reviewed and signed and approved, and now that everyone can go back to work, especially with the actors and the writers, so they can feel good about going back to work and continuing to film film and TV that we all love so much, and getting out to us, especially with late night shows and even with everything else. But I'm glad that all this is over, especially has been going on since May, and now everyone has agreed upon a new deal and a new contract and fair pay, and now that everything is sort of going to be changing and possibly impact everything. But I'm glad that the Hollywood strike is over, and so much more that is going to change for the better as well. And so that is going to be a first video, and let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments below. What are your thoughts on the Hollywood strike that is officially over with the WG and even with the SAG-AFTRA after they get their contract reviewed and signed as well. And let me know in the comments below. You can give this video a like and subscribe and turn on notifications about future videos, and you also follow my socials, which are linked down below. And with that, I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.